All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, fellow Pandemonium travelers, this is Seattle Pandemonium Shutdown, day 424 by my count. So what's going on? What's going down? We've got increasing tensions and propaganda about COVID and vaccines. I spent part of my day today arguing with some leaf about like the severity of the COVID pandemic, and we're not like I wanna be clear here. This isn't spring of 2020. We're now approaching summer of 2021. It's been a year since this whole thing started, so the context has changed. The framing has changed. We know what we know what the lethality is. We know about comorbidities. We know about like where there are clusters of infection. We know that lockdowns don't necessarily help. Now, we don't know that because we didn't do another thing. We did that thing. So we're going to endlessly argue about this, but people live in a hysteria about their own safety, and it's like a safety bias pandemic of terror and fear. I'm not quite sure what the solution is here, because you tell people, look, if you're not elderly and you're not overweight and you don't have some other kind of comorbidity, you're really not at risk. Like Joe Rogan damn near got canceled over this. You have like the CDC issuing statements contradictory to Joe Rogan because he said, you know, if I was like a fit 20-year-old, I wouldn't get the vaccine. That's actually accurate. I know that makes a bunch of you like branch COVIDians mad, but that's accurate. Like if you're a fit 25-year-old, you might get sick and then you'll get better, like me last year. I'm not 25, but I got sick and it was like, whoa, I'm really sick, and then I got better. That's it. Like, now the at-risk people need to be treated as being at risk. I feel like I said this a year ago. Like, I swear I said this on this very program like a year ago. But anyways, so let's get past COVID. Never mind all the COVID nonsense and, you know, me arguing with people on the internet. It's my hobby. I like to do that. But what else is going on? There's another thing. It's loose. It's tangentially related to like the COVID nonsense of people not understanding, like fundamentally not understanding like a topic like masks and pathogens and transmission and statistics, etc. It's this. Oh, it's frightening. It's frightening to watch the propaganda unfold itself. Joe Biden gave a speech, and he was talking about, well, look at, like, we've created all these new jobs as we emerge from the pandemic. Look at all these new jobs we've created. And if you're like me, obviously on the one hand, great. If we have job growth, that's fantastic. We're getting people back to work. That's good. I'm not saying that's bad. What I'm saying is calling it job creation is like drowning your baby in the bathtub and then pulling it out and then doing CPR and then it doesn't die. And then you're like, well, we're +1 baby now. Look at how great of a job we did. And it's like, no, it's not job creation, it's job recovery. We're getting back jobs we lost because you people told us we can't go to work unless you have special paperwork or you're in a special position, like I am and some of you were. Honestly, it's like one of the most bizarre things ever. Like the last year has been bizarre for me as I've been documenting with my videos. Like, other people were cleared out of my way on the freeway. Apparently they weren't essential. I'm essential. But that's not good. That's not a good thing. Like, we need everybody to go to their quote-unquote non-essential jobs and, like, earn wages and make stuff and provide services to each other, because that's what a community is. I may have said this before. I may be repeating myself ad nauseum, but that concept, that framing, like, look at these jobs we've created. No, look at the jobs that have recovered after you smothered the economy with a pillow. Am I seeing this? Do you see this? Let me know in the comments. Like, am I crazy? Like, there's this bizarre thing where they smother your children and then go, okay, we stopped. Look at how great we're doing. And you're like, what are you talking about? Like, you did this. Like, this is your fault. Anyways. Okay, so relating to that is another emerging story which I find fascinating. And this is they're called Black Hammer Time. Now, let me be careful here. What they did is they posted some stuff to their Twitter account. They have a website, they have a URL, they've done some videos, and what these kids are, is they posted to Twitter, we've done it. We've reconquered or decolonized, or whatever they said. I'll include the link. They decolonized like 200 acres at 10,000 feet. We've got a lake and a river, and we're going to use indigenous farming methods to decolonize the land or something. Like no one lives there. Okay? Like, it's empty land. Like, it's wilderness. Now, good luck and God bless Walden Pond and all that. Henry David Thoreau, go for it. Do it. Now, the reality, though, is that, especially in North America, if someone doesn't live, if there's no people living somewhere, they don't live there for a reason. And the reason is, for example, at 10,000 feet, this is apparently in Colorado, there's like, somebody was saying, there's like 90, nice Yui, SPD, good work. There's like 90 frost-free days a year at that altitude in that area. And my God, look, I can't off the top of my head cite you how many acres of wheat you need to grow to sustain, say, a family of 5. Let's say a family of 5. It's at least an acre. Like, I don't know what the ratio of, like, square footage of wheat ground into flour equals enough bread to keep, you and your family alive, for a year, right? Or for a season, I guess. But I know enough to look at the pictures, and again, I'm going to reference pictures that you can't see, but I'll include the link. They're in scrubland. There's like yucca plants. The yucca plants grow in like desert. There's like desert pines of some kind, like all around. They're at such, again, 90 days of frost-free, planting. You are not going to grow enough food for a meaningful community of people at that altitude, in that soil, with that access to water, it's like this is going to be Jonestown 2.0 if these kids, I'm going to say kids, maybe there's adults involved, I don't think so. It's going to become some Lord of the Flies nightmare, but it's going to be Jonestown 2.0. Like, they're going to be like, we're decolonizing, which, by the way, Jim Jones was woke AF, by the way. He was all about being woke. Long before it was woke, he was all about every single group of people's oppression at the hands of the white, Western, patriarchal, etc., etc. So we're doing the same thing, only this is going to happen in, like, apparently Colorado, in the mountains. Because you can't live on moral self-righteousness alone, guys. You've got to be able to germinate seeds, plant them in fertile soil, water them, make sure they get enough sunlight, and they are not going to get enough of that. I'll pull over to the side, even though they're clearly going that way. All right, let's go. But yeah, no, it's Black Hammer time, and again, I'll include a link like to their Twitter account because it seems legit. It seems like, I mean, it seems like they're a group of young people. I don't particularly care what their racial or ethnic background is, but they're clearly making the movement about their racial and ethnic background. They're decolonizing land by recolonizing it from the people that colonized it. Look, I don't know all the rules to all this stuff. But my point is, from a pragmatic, practical approach, is there's a reason why we don't have great farmland already there where you're trying to decolonize the land. Like, there's a reason why we're not like, oh, look at this great farmland. Let's just start farming avocados and citrus and wheat and barley and corn and grazing, livestock. Like, look at this great land. It's not great land. It's not good. What it's good for is holding frozen water to thaw and then flow down to the low-lying areas where the actual productive soil is. Oh my God. What is going on? We got 3-4 fire trucks. We got ambulances. What is going on? Emergency. 911. Oh God, then there's some nutsack is trying to make this left turn. It's like every day there's someone in my way making bad decisions. I hate your guts. Anyways. Yeah, no, I as a boy who grew up rural and I like planted gardens and such, I'm telling you. This little experiment in horticulture, and this is one of the issues, is they were like, we're going to use indigenous farming methods. And it's like, what do you mean? Like that, like I said, horticulture. Like, there's a reason why when the horse arrived in North America, and especially like the Plains natives started thriving because they could chase down, buffalo, bison, Tatanka. They could chase them down and shoot them with bows and arrows, and it was like a revolution. It changed things. Why? They weren't agriculturalists. They weren't subsistence farmers. They were hunter-gatherers. They hunted and gathered. Now, was it great? Probably sometimes. Sure. Go out and gather berries, gather a bunch of huckleberries and blackberries, and hunt some deer and some bison, and, yeah, it's probably great. But the thing about agriculture is that it stabilizes a civilization in a set location. Now, what they're trying to do is basically, these Black Hammer Time people, is they're trying to replicate the stability of our civilization by doing the nativist thing that people were doing before, like, organized farming and agriculture became what it is. Like I would love for them to succeed, but they aren't going to. And in fact, watching them fail is going to be like watching David Hogg fail at his stupid Good Pillow project. You can't survive on moral self-righteousness alone. It takes work, and they're not going to be able to do the work. All right, that's enough for me for one day. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.